Right now, you are watching this video, understanding every single word. But 100,000 years ago, no human on Earth could say a single sentence. No words, no names, no stories, no jokes, just silence and grunts. So how did we go from absolute silence to 7,000 languages, poetry, music, and storytelling? This is the full story, and it will completely change how you see every conversation you have ever had. Let's go back. 2 million years ago, Earth is completely silent, at least from a human perspective. Our ancestor Homo erectus walks the African savanna. He is smart, he uses tools, he lives in groups, but he cannot speak. Not a single word. He communicates exactly like a chimpanzee. Gestures, grunts, facial expressions, and touch. Scientists know this because of one thing: his skull. The brain region responsible for speech, called Broca's area, was tiny, barely developed. For millions of years, this was us, smart enough to survive, but completely silent. Then something incredible happened. Around 500,000 years ago, the human body began to change in a very specific way. Our voice box, called the larynx, started dropping lower in our throat. Now this sounds small, but it was enormous. Every other animal on Earth, dogs, chimps, even whales, has a high larynx. It lets them breathe and swallow at the same time safely, but our larynx dropped so low that we lost that ability forever. We became the only animal on Earth that can choke on food and die. Scientists call this one of the strangest evolutionary trades in history. We literally gave up the ability to safely eat, just so we could make more sounds, and those sounds would eventually become words. Was it worth it? Every language ever spoken says yes. But a voice box alone is not language. A parrot has a voice box. A parrot cannot write poetry. What really created language was the brain. Around 100,000 years ago, something in the human brain changed forever. The prefrontal cortex, the front part of your brain, exploded in size and complexity. Suddenly humans could do something no other animal could. We could think in symbols. We could imagine things that did not exist yet. A lion cannot think about yesterday. A dolphin cannot plan for next year. But suddenly, we could. And the moment a human pointed at the moon and made a consistent sound that meant moon, language was born. That single moment, one human, one sound, one meaning, separated us from every other species on Earth. So, what were the first words? Nobody knows for certain, but scientists have strong theories. The most likely first words were not hello or food or water. They were probably names for people in the tribe. Because the biggest advantage of early language was not describing objects. It was talking about other people. Who is trustworthy? Who is dangerous? Who did what yesterday? Scientists call this the gossip theory of language. And before you laugh, think about it. Even today, the majority of human conversation is about other people. We have been gossiping since the very beginning of language. It is literally built into our DNA. Once language started, it spread like wildfire. Small tribes developed their own unique words, their own grammar, their own stories. And as humans migrated across the world, out of Africa, into Europe, Asia, and eventually the Americas, they carried their languages with them. Those languages split and changed over thousands of years, like a tree growing branches. Scientists have traced all 7,000 languages spoken today back to just a handful of ancient proto-languages. The oldest reconstructed one is called Proto-Indo-European, spoken around 6,000 years ago somewhere on the Russian steppes. From that single ancient language came English, Spanish, Hindi, Russian, Persian, Greek, and hundreds more. Every time you speak English, you are speaking a descendant of a language spoken by ancient nomads on the Russian grasslands 6,000 years ago. For 90,000 years, language only existed in the air, spoken and then gone forever. Every story, every name, every idea disappeared the moment it was said. Then around 5,000 years ago, in ancient Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, humans did something that changed civilization forever. They wrote things down. The first writing was not poetry or philosophy. It was grocery lists, literally. Ancient accountants tracking grain and livestock, But within a few centuries, humans were writing laws, stories, prayers, and histories. Suddenly, ideas could survive death. A thought written 5,000 years ago can enter your mind today. Language had broken the barrier of time itself. Here is what I want you to think about. Every joke you have ever laughed at, every song that made you cry, every argument that broke your heart, every dream you have ever described to someone, none of it, absolutely none of it, would exist without one ancient human standing alone in the dark, pointing at the moon, and deciding that sound meant something. Language did not just help us survive. It made us who we are. It made us human.